the idea comments for all the presenters. I'm not quite sure there will be anybody who wasn't in our group who has questions for presenters who are in this group. So ideally, I think it's probably appropriate that we start. And if we agree with that, then I would invite presenters to come forward, take seats here, and if you have any question, comment directed to them, please do. Just like our colleagues will be joining us once they are done, but for the time being, let's save time. Any different view from that? I see none, then I would love to welcome presenters, including myself. So please, questions, comments, people sitting here. Correct. And if we have forgotten what we presented, again, that's fine. Yes, please. I will start with you. Yes, please. You say your question is directed to.
Yes, thank you. I have two questions or three, but I will direct the question to two presenters. The one who presented the human whether for resistance, and the one who can't go human. You mentioned about the mitigation method for dealing with this conflict. And you said about beehives and the intercoma, but I did not hear anything about versatile drone in wildlife conservation. I thought it's another method to deal with that. So if you can say a little bit about that, I will appreciate it. And then the other question related to this one, and also to the next thing, there's an activity about pollination, I think. It's about the number of livestock. You said the moderate grazing, it will enhance the pollination. But when you increase, it will deter or it will disrupt the pollination. Did you do any further investigation to know the stocking rate for those, that number of livestock, which will enhance the pollination? And then the last question was to the person who beneficiary that they use. We all remember the effect of corona, how it impacted the conservation areas. And for that, in ways which I heard all of the presenters, they said about they depend on photography and hunting. What about the scenarios of corona? What would they depend? Is this not an opportunity for them to spare the means of getting revenue other than those ones? Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take the second question, please.
Yeah, thank you. So the question was really on the political view. And this goes to I guess. In presentation, he showed that he had reviewed several documents, policies, and legislations. And I was keen to see if there will be any political level documents that he has reviewed. What I mean is, if you want to know how politicians interpret these documents and policies and such and everything, you go to the party manifest. This is where you see how they interpret whatever that you are trying to establish. And I did not see that in the presentation. I would like to know if at any chance you are able to see that. And the second one is to George. We clearly say that the assumption that we have that the motivation for community to support conservation is based on tourist hunting is not realistic. If I get it right, was it? Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to think whether that translates to economic incentives, or you are only referring to revenues that generated from tourism. Because from superficial, from what we know, is our communities are motivated to support conservation only if the land that is being set aside for conservation is able to produce some sort of benefits that are tangible, which they can see. Not necessarily from tourist hunting, but even from other sources. So I'm not sure if you were referring to only revenues from tourist hunting, or you meant that the economic incentives are not motivation for community support.
Yeah, thank you. I think we will respond to the two, and then we move on to this. Any other questions? That will be okay. And I will start because the first one was given the position that I'm chairing. Now let me start. The issue of methods for mitigating human-wildlife conflict. The idea for that presentation was not to show everything that is already being used out there. It was kind of to stimulate discussions. I know there's several methods, and I wouldn't have had the time to look at everything. And of course, with reference to the use of unmanned vehicles, UAVs, it was there in the talk. Only then I did not explain any of the methods that I showed on the presentation. And that was for a very good reason, because what I said was there are several methods out there that people are using for addressing human wildlife. And for the purpose of that presentation, I would have taken the time to go one by one. But otherwise, it was there. And we know technology is one of those issues that people are looking at in terms of addressing human wildlife conflict. Same to what Matt said this morning. For example, the issue of using geofencing. There are people who are already using this, but it wasn't there in the presentation. But I know there are several ways that people use to address human wildlife conflict as we speak. I hope that makes you aware. Any other to respond? I think there are questions.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lawrence, for your question. I was a bit quick, but our assumption, the WM assumption with regards to hunting tourism is that the benefit from hunting tourism will motivate residents, the local communities, to support wildlife conservation. That's an equation. So we're trying to model the assumption and also build it based on the theoretical framework. We use several theory of, for first of all, the similar framework speak the same. Theory of social exchange theory speak the same. People will support when there's benefits, when benefits outweighs costs. So we use that to model. So we did modeling. In that regard, what we found at the end of the day is that intention mediates the relationship between adding tourism impact and support. Now, the link between intention, what translates from intention to the actual support, in which we predicted using the theory of land behavior, is a model, was little. That means the motivation is less, much as there has been some sort of benefit and cost that also translates. That was saying the model is not working, it's not realistic on the ground. There is a need for redesigning the policy program to make sure that we articulate, we enhance the motivation that translates the actual support. But again, using the sustainability framework, we also know that there are other benefits that are not talked about in different regions. The economic, the environmental, and social cultural aspect. They are not talked about, but they are also integrated in the anti-tourism model. So that's why we also found that the impact of social cultural on motivation is insignificant. In other words, not supported by the matrices that we use in that model. That means there's a need, as people in policy implication, there's a need now to look on the anti-tourism framework, see how it can also contribute to social cultural impact of the resident, a positive impact, so that it can increase support on wildlife conservation. So I was giving the overall framework that the way the things stands, we are seeing less of the motivation that translates the actual support when we predicted using the model that we use. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I could just add something small. Yeah, you see, I think yes, I'm just saying about, especially for our graduate students, doing modeling is very important. And then you can know exactly variables which are very important in your questions. But writing your dissertation, you need also to consider the weakness side of that model you are developing. I think most students are not considered in London. That's why I say sometimes models fail, and you need to accept that. Thank you.
Those who are coming in, please present us. Could you please take this seat, please?
May I request those who are coming from Zumba, present us to policies. Presenters from Zumba, please take these policies.
Thank you, Clarence, for your submission. The question was asked by Clarence that why in our review of policies we didn't include the political will or the political documents. I mean, which are formed like in the party document, the manifesto. But the way we did, we followed other publications, reputable publications, and they normally use the legal document. Now, when you see the legal documents, they are designed, of course, they have been the ministry, and that's what we do. We only base on those legal documents, and that's what exists in our society. We do not be political documents, the manifesto, because sometimes you may whether the party win the election or lose, and then it cannot be implemented, or it may be implemented probably for a certain period, and then a party may lose that election. Anyway, that's how we consider from other publications, and then we base on the legal
haven't submitted the manuscript yet. Thank you for that observation.
Okay, I think we are ready to take
a certain round for questions. For those who are coming from Zoom, we decided to start up so that, for the interest of time, the first had a round of 2 questions. Presenters who are in Zumba, and after that, we'll invite those from again, come up here and there will be a round of questions, comments, and discussions. So if there is anything else for those of you who are in Zoom, and I assume here probably those who are in Zoom will be in a better position to ask because they attended these presentations. But otherwise, this is open for everybody to pose a question or comment on anything.
There was a question, Mr. Chairman, on the border reservation.
Oh, yes. Okay. Please.
Thank you so much for the question. Which you asked what would be the model number of surveys. It's really a nice question. It is very tricky because in our study we are working on this phasing theory, medium higher phasing intensity, less than 2. One, we are looking at the percentage of their lines. Actually, we had plots which were fairly in given landscapes. And within these plots, we were looking at 2 issues. First, percentage of their land and the implementation rate. So in an area where we say this is low isotope density, maybe understanding the area which we say this is high isotope density is an area which the percentage of their land was more than 75%. And again, the implementation rate was less than 25 centimeters. Then model intensity where the area that the percentage of ground cover, their land was at least 50%. With the limitation rate, the range between 25 to 50 centimeters. In the area where there's high and low levels of density is where the limitation rate were more than 50 centimeter rate, and the percentage of non-cover was less than 25. So we did not really count the number of livestock. The part of that would be the research table for everyone who would like to see that kind of study. To go and look for on this study plots, maybe the household, how many livestock they have. Because in the conclusion, I said maybe more than livestock density would enhance potential investment in the markets. But in reality, we didn't come up with the exact figure that we increase the livestock per household example. So that would be the research table. Thank you.
For the interest of time, we will take 3 or 4 questions from this group here. There was one from the ladies there. 2, 3, 4.
My question is for Dr. Julius. Do you have any kind of observation which says that what is the impact of monoculture, or we can say industry agriculture on the honey? And my second question is, do you find any kind of difference in the areas where there is a forested land and the impact of forested land and honeybee production, honeybees, and in the areas where purposely honeybees are being used for keeping away the elements?
Can you repeat your question, your second question?
What is the abundance of honeybees in the forested areas where there is no agriculture, and in the areas where honeybees are used as a biofence for used as repelling the elements? I mean, what kind of agriculture is around that area, how it is more beneficial for keeping away the elephants, as well as the agriculture purpose. Yeah, thank you.
Mine is just a comment. It's on human wildlife conflict. I don't know the policy in the law in Tanzania, but getting it from my understanding, there's a peace and conflict study scholar. What I understand is that for communities to support conservation, they are supposed to see benefits. And these benefits, I didn't mention my name, I'm from Zambia. In Zambia, we have a benefit sharing mechanism with the local community. That is enshrined in our constitution. It's very clear, it's 50%, 50%. When we operated as an authority, it was easy for us to share the money. But now, because we are a government department, it is becoming increasingly difficult for communities to get the money. Some other people that do not understand the law and the policy, they are trying to even think that the communities are asking too much for government. They are telling them that no, you are still catered for by the government funds when it comes to districts. If you look at the wildlife law, that is contrary to what is pushing the law. So, basically what I can say is that we've seen that the trend for human wildlife conflict reports and basically for reports for people like almost the resentment to human wildlife conflict over years has increased. Why? You ask the question why. I've worked for the wildlife sector for some like 20 years now. But what we are seeing is that the communities are now seeing wildlife as a resource that belongs to the government, because they are not receiving the benefits that are supposed to get. So for us, in Zambia, what we've done, we have community private wildlife estates. We call them community game ranches. The communities, they own wildlife 100%. Even we don't get reports for animals, we don't get reports for human wildlife conflict, because in this case they realize that this is my animal. So who am I going to report to? Of course, we know that they report when they have incidents of elephants, those that are big, because even the damage they cause, it's massive as well. So basically what I can say is that for communities, even for issue of human wildlife conflict should be resolved amicably, communities are supposed to own wildlife. I don't know how the law and the policies in Tanzania is. As long as wildlife is going to belong to the government, people are going to make demands that an elephant has killed by my person. But if it belongs to them, those reports are in.
Thank you very much. Mine is not a question. I wanted to advise my young brother to do research. Somebody is asking you how many cows are you supposed to feed. I think what you should have done is you should go and let's provide and determine the level of pasture productivity. When you understand and know the amount of pastures, then using the science, you can know, oh, this land has the following characteristics. You can quickly establish that. But when you do your study and you don't do the vital, then you find it hard to answer questions like that. So take an extra mile, look at that area we're talking about, see its capacity in terms of growing pastures. Then you'll be able to establish the current capacity. For this one, thank you.
Can I suggest that asking questions or putting comments, they may say whether it's a general comment, and if there is a specific question, then they say directly it to you, so that at some point we are able to respond. We've just heard from our colleague from Zambia comments on benefit sharing issues and the issues of wildlife ownership. So it's such a general statement that might need some sort of policy response.
Thank you. Again, I'm Wilson and I'm from Uganda. I have two questions. One is for human wildlife coexistence, and another one is for mental health. Now, on human wildlife coexistence, I looked at it as management of human wildlife conflict. And why don't you call it human wildlife conflict management than coexistence? Because it's a very problem, and we are trying to look at a way of managing that so that people can accept wildlife in their land. That's one. Then the mental health, we've been talking about park rangers. We are park rangers, indeed, and we have gone through those challenges that you mentioned. But I know I'm looking at many wounds that park rangers have by losing our colleagues in the battle, by divorcing our spouses. Most wildlife managers here, they don't have their first spouses. How will you build their confidence or bring back that is lost during the implementation of conservation? Thank you.
Yeah, maybe we respond to these questions and comments. And I will start off with the coexistence one. Human wildlife conflict management is just a way towards coexistence. You are doing that so that at the end of the day, you want to have coexistence. And by coexistence, as I defined this afternoon, we are looking at the two, people and wildlife, cohabiting in a given landscape. There is a very structured way of how things are managed within that. So the conflict is managed first before people would allow for that coexistence. That's why we are not putting it as being conflict management. Conflict management has to happen first for coexistence to be there. So you have to distinguish the two. So you need to manage conflict to be able to have coexistence. The question is, how much do we really do to ensure that there is that coexistence? And that's where the challenge is. Otherwise, my colleagues, there was this question that was asked, the lady there asked about the bees in forests against areas if I got it right. Maybe if you got it right, it was something to do with bees. For sure, you'll be in position to say that.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Maybe I can take back a little bit on the presentation to the lecture. Actually, what I said in the presentation, I had a touch of that. We started from low agricultural gardening, go to moderate agricultural gardening, and the last one is high agricultural gardening. And these categories was made based on several factors. For example, in the low agricultural intensity, these are study sites which are situated in these protected areas where agriculture is not allowed at all. But in moderate agricultural intensity, these are study sites which are situated in an area particularly human landscapes. where the farm size are about 1 hectare in most cases. And in this category, they normally practice mixed crop farm. So in fact, there is maize in the farm, there are beans, there are sunflower, and so many other food crops. And the high nitrogen intensity, this was study size which was interestingly in an area where they practice the large agricultural field. Therefore, they make use of high agricultural machines, but also they apply a lot of chemicals and chemical fertilizers. And according to these three categories, the study found that in moderate and in high agricultural intensity study sites or landscapes, there are high basically because they normally abandon the land until the land growing season. Therefore, during this time, the land allows the growth of a lot of herbs, and most of these herbs are honey herbs. And therefore, these honey herbs support pollinators by providing the foreign resources, so there are a lot of food. And the part of this is because this studies, the data collection of these studies organically across all the seasons, means during the when the crops in the farms, during the crops were already harvested. Therefore, I could simply say that this study found that the impact of monoculture to bee pollinators is really good because culture intensification support bee pollinators or these high aggressive bees or the aggressive development of bees. And this is due to nature of agriculture which is done. And this is quite different from the kind of agriculture which is done in temperature Europe and America. Because normally when they harvest the crops, the season turns to winter, where the temperatures are very low. This affects the bee activity, and then automatically the basic balance down. That's really low. But again, the kind of agricultural activities which impact the region, they will use moderate chemicals. And therefore, there's no direct impact like intoxication of these pollinators, which would be done by use of powder. And therefore, the study concludes that agricultural intensification, which is seasonal farmland, proportionally increases the diets. Then come to another question, which you asked about the benefits, which you raised by which could be used, could be done by using onions, versus kind of crops which could be cultivated in these cases. This is I think answer this question because it was really beyond the scope of the study which is presented. Because it is presented in environments. But actually what we know on this honey, they are not efficient pollinators as well pollinators. And this is because of the science. Normally we think that the small bees, which are among the family, are eating the efficient pollinators because they are really small. Therefore, they can enter even in the very small flowers. And some of the flower will find a tuberous flora when we do efficient pollinators more than honey. But regarding the correlation between viruses and bees and crops that they different is beyond the scope of the study.
Police, spouses without any support. In terms of clinical support, you use an aspect of improving access to psychological therapies. So you'll be given a session of 6 to 12 sessions. This helps you to actually go through that session. It's a talking therapy which could help you at that point to ensure that you actually recover from it. I know that Rangers go through a lot of issues. For example, in Uganda, I think we had such an issue about a month ago, and where I was thinking, and some of the Rangers would need to go such talking therapy.
that could help them to that session in terms of conservation work, which is not happening at all. So yes, I would say that talking therapy has some form, and if it goes beyond 6 weeks, it could go to cognitive behavioral therapy. That is much more intense. And I try to support you to ensure that you get something. Thank you.
Yeah, it's about reliance on model. There's an aspect of yeah, why do we do monitoring? Linking anti-knowledge impact and support for that concept. Just to indicate that our main motivation for that is that we have seen that we have been, procedures have been explaining the influences, the costs and benefits, but not the impact. But again, what we are seeing on the bulk of knowledge, bulk of studies on other forms of knowledge that we using modeling to predict present support of knowledge development, which could also be applicable in predicting